Penguins had the opening goal of this hockey game. Lemieux with his second of the playoffs at 7:24 from Coffey and Phil Bourque, and Lemieux taking a hard pass from Coffey and just wrapping it right by Van Beesbroek in a quick fashion to get the Penguins off and flying to a 1-0 lead. And by the way, it was a power play goal for the Penguins. They're fourth in the playoffs so far. The Rangers answered that a minute and 4 seconds later as they came back. Tony Granato in a jam up around the Penguin net, reached in and poked it right underneath Penguin netminder Tom Barrasso. Eriksson had fired it towards the net. It was loose, and Granato came in and just took a stab at it and got the goal.
I thought Nyland had pushed Barrasso into the net, but I was wrong. Granato came in and did manage to get a stick on the puck and poking underneath it.
Penguins also had a goal disallowed in that period. Robbie Brown appeared to put one off Van Beesbroek in the net on a delayed penalty call, but it did not count, and the Penguins failed to get it, but Cullen did score, and it gave the Penguins a 2-1 lead. And we are back to play again. Penguins moving right to left here in the second period, killing a penalty. The first 20 seconds of the period, and it goes back into the Rangers zone, and Brian Leetch comes back, and the Rangers will be 0 for 3 on the power play here tonight. Sandstrom left into the Penguin stripe. Hillier and Zalewski now paired up defensively. Kind of an interesting thing here with those two. Usually Hillier plays with Paul Coffey. The Rangers have the puck, and they swing it ahead back down to the Penguin zone. It'll go to the left wing corner. Thomas Sandstrom shoulders Zalewski, and he took the worst of that as Sandstrom went down. Around to the near corner, Bob Airy. Now hit from behind is Zalewski and hit by Kerry Wilson. Rangers showing some muscle here early in the second period. Robbie Brown, though, drills it ahead for Bob Airy. And Airy skates his way down the left wing, trying to get a half a step on Patrick. Pulls up near side, lost the edge on his skate and went down. Patrick corrals the puck. He had a pretty impressive first period for the Rangers. Led the club in shots with 3. The Rangers outshot the Penguins 14-10 in the opening period, and now we've got an icing call here against the Rangers, and they'll bring it back into New York territory. Our Foodland hotshot contestant is Keith Herbert of Oakmont, PA. Randy Cunnyworth is his goal scorer, and if the Penguins score, $400 worth of groceries from Foodland will go to Keith.
Paul Coffey, the Penguins' leader in the playoffs. He scored 64 points on the power play this year. You know, Mike, Paul Coffey scored 63 points on the road, 50 at home this past season, in the regular season. And just another indication of the character that he has. He's actually outscored himself on the road, away from home.
And probably the indicator there was the fact that the Penguins led the NHL on the power play on the road this year.
That's right.
So that's one of the reasons for it. Here's Quinn on the Rangers end, comes out looking, he got a chance, and he shoots it. That's off Van Beesbroek. Lafreniere had it for a moment. It comes to Cunnyworth. Cunnyworth now to Stevens, and he can't hold the pass. Back in the far corner, Lafreniere handles a biscuit for the New York Rangers. Looking for someone to pass to. He's going to skate it up now and comes to center. Lafreniere, right-handed shooter, blasted up into the Penguin left wing corner. Cunnyworth went around with Guy Lafleur. They jam it. Still working for Lafreniere, going to Guy Lafleur. 2-1 the Penguins lead to Michel Petit, and he'll shoot one that's way off target. Comes off the boards. Back to center ice, and the Rangers' Mark Hardy has it. He pointed out the glove of Ogrodnik right into the Ranger bench. And we'll get a stop and play here and a face-off at center ice.
Well, you can just see when that Penguin line comes on, that second line of Quinn and Cunnyworth and Stevens, how they really have that Ranger defense on their heels in their own zone. The Rangers spoke very highly of that line and how well they had played.
Particularly Kevin Stevens.
Right, they're just talking about him, how he's been hitting and driving to the net. And Cunnyworth, another guy who's been playing a notch above what you even see him play in the regular season, and he plays with reckless abandon most of the time during the 80-game schedule.
Janine taking one of the Rangers down with no penalty call, the former New York Islander and Minnesota North Star. So far has shined very well for the Penguins in the first 3 games of the playoffs. Cullen against Lucien Deblois, and the Penguins come up with it. Jimmy Johnson, Penguin defenseman. Shooter to the right wing corner, Ranger zone. Off the carom, Troy Loney went in. He is belted by Brian Leetch. And Lucien Deblois finds an open man in Brian Mullen. Mullen left wing, going to the Penguins end. Offside of the Rangers. They're offside. The light went on, but it's an offside call, I believe. Thought I heard a whistle. Is it a goal or not? I thought it was an offside play. Gino Briaco expressing the same interest here. I thought I heard a whistle as if it were an offside play.
I think you did, Mike, because Barrasso really relaxed on the play.
Yeah,
he doesn't think it's a goal.
And they jam it up in the corner. Now David Shaw and Gord Dineen have words. And Shaw with that stick up, and Dineen
They're doing it. They're doing it because Kissio put the puck in the net. That's why the Penguins are after the Rangers right now. Deneen having words with David Shaw, who, by the way, Mike, I think has really took a beating in that first period. He was in the penalty box twice. The Penguins were knocking him around a little bit. He's trying to stare down Gord Deneen right now, but just looking at the face of David Shaw, he looks a bit intimidated to me. That puck is going to come back outside the blue line. Sorry, boys, no goal.
Yeah.
The fans don't know it yet.
Well, Esposito and the Rangers know it. They know it's coming outside. They know there's no goal. Kissio did put it in, but the Penguins just let up on the play, and the Rangers were offside. There isn't any question about it.
Well, it's hard to hear the whistles. I mean, you heard the whistle, but maybe Kelly Kissio didn't, so you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was down by the net, but Barrasso didn't even make a move to stop it. Kissio is the man who was offside on the play.
And he just said he's offside. That's exactly what he said.
Van Hellemond, by the way, was the referee in the 9-2 game back in October that really got out of hand when David Shaw hit Mario Lemieux.
You know, contrary to what you think, I think most of the Ranger fans knew it was an offside call, too. I really do. Just the way they're reacting now. I think they would have really put some steam into it, but they haven't said too much. I think they knew it was an offside play. They were hoping that it wasn't, but I think most of them in the building realized that it was going to be called offside. Just the way the players relaxed on the play. As if they had heard a whistle. Face-off outside of the Penguin line. Lemieux against DeBlois. And Lemieux cleanly won the draw. Got it back to Randy Hillier. 17:47 to go in the second period. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup semifinal Patrick Division playoffs. Penguins lead 2-1. Trying to make it 3 in a row against the Rangers. Actually, they won the last 2 in the regular season, and the first 2 they've won 4 straight. The Rangers have lost 7 straight now. Here's Coffey, including the last 5 in regular season play. Ron Greshner in his own territory. With the puck for the Rangers, look to get it out. Played it by Lemieux to center. Mullen is hit by Randy Hillier in deck. Play continues. Robbie Brown with the puck. Turns it back to Lemieux, cutting for the Rangers in. He's being checked from behind by Patrick. Comes in. Patrick wards him right into the corner with a good play there. James Patrick doing the job defensively against Lemieux. And the Rangers counterattack, but they pass it way too far. Deep into the Penguins end. Barrasso looks to Hillier to touch it. We have an icing call against the New York Rangers. And we'll return here to Madison Square Garden in New York, where the Pittsburgh Penguins lead the New York Rangers 2-1 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Acura for under $12,000. I couldn't believe it.
I saw an Acura Tiger just driving along one day, and I said, that's it. And then I went out and I priced it, and it was within my price range.
The deciding factor was performance for the price.
Monthly payments fit perfect, and there was no way. We would have never been satisfied to go back to a used car after we drove the Integra.
Acura for under $12,000. Unbelievable.
You drive an Acura, you definitely buy an Acura.
Lemieux being shadowed again by Lucien DeBlois, who came in, and Patrick made a nice defensive play to force him wide. He didn't have good control of the puck, and James Patrick, who I think has had an outstanding game so far for the Rangers, took him out of the action. If you'd like to have your favorite Penguins game on home video, call Genesis Video Productions at 412-847-3091 or 847-2122 to place your order. Genesis Video Production. Pittsburgh 2, the Rangers 1. Second period, Zalapski in the Rangers zone. Winded down the corner. And behind the net, going for it will be Michel Petit. And Petit lofted it ahead back to center. Tony Granato, though, takes over. Comes to the Penguins in. Granato pushing one to the net. Barrasso using that old glove again. He must have had it repaired a little bit. And back to center. Gave him some problems the other night in game 2. Did you ever ask him about that?
No, I meant to.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him tonight, but I don't really feel comfortable about going up to him and asking him stuff like that before games. He doesn't like to talk too much before games.
All right, then call him at 3 this morning. We'll get a hold of him. I'll ask him. Tommy, how's the glove?
No, I saw him walking.
Well, I know he goes to sleep with it, so.
I saw him walking down. Yeah, he does.
We can find out how it is.
Well, he
later
doesn't sleep with that one. He sleeps with the new ones.
That's right.
He sleeps with the new ones to break them in.
That's right. Yeah.
That one, he has a little bed for it. He puts it in there.
Yeah. Like a pet bed.
Right.
Yeah. Outside of the Penguin blue line, it's Dan Quinn with Stevens and Cunnyworth. The Rangers counter with Jan Eriksson and Chris Nyland on either side of Tony Granato. We've yet to see Rudy Postcheck in this series so far. The Ranger tough guy, and Stevens now, and Granato was hit as he came down the left wing, pushed into the Rangers in. Van Beesbroek way out of the net. He can't find the puck. Now he returns, takes control of it, looks for Hardy, instead goes the other way, and the Penguins keep it in. Cunnyworth looking for a trailer, cuts a nice move around. Granato comes down, he shoots. Oh, what a save by Van Beesbroek! Van Beesbroek gloving that shot by
Stevens. Stevens was trying to get after Hardy, and Nyland had the glove right in his eye.
What a save that was by John Van Beesbrook. Cunningworth came unmolested right down the slot, got all of a slap shot, and I mean all of it. And Van Beesbrook at the very, very last second reached up with that glove and made a tremendous save against Randy Cunningworth.
And it's a good thing he did, because he came out of the net and had trouble handling the puck. He's been known to do that. He didn't know which way to go with it, and Hardy was no help to him, so he wrapped it around the boards. The Penguins kept it in. Cunningworth just made a great move into the slot. He had a lot of time. He teed it up, and Van Beesbrook did the splits and got the glove up to make the save. Cunningworth slapping again, and Randy, when he gets that slap shot going, is deadly out there. He's got a great slap shot. Van Beesbrook was in a pretty good position there. He reacted extremely well to the save, to the shot. Great reflexes. He was set for it too, which helps.
Hardy of the Rangers and Stevens of Pittsburgh both received 2 minutes each for roughing, and the penalties will be at 3:46 of the second period. By the way, at the end of the first frame, Van Helleman, the referee, had a long discussion with Penguin coach Gino Briaco and Robbie Brown about that goal that was disputed. They chatted for quite some time after on the bench, and Andy trying to explain to him what happened. And,
well, I'd love to hear it. I'm really anxious to hear the explanation, because whatever it is, it's had to have been conjured up.
Cunningworth back to the bench, and now Lemieux with Brown and Barberry. Well, Mario with the playoff beard, about 2 months worth there working. They're in the third period now at Philadelphia, and the Flyers lead Washington 3-2. They've taken the lead there against the Caps, and series is tied at 1 game apiece. Here's Lemieux. The Canadians are losing to Hartford 2-1 in the second period. Canadians lead there 2-0. DeBlois drills it deep into the Penguin zone. It comes to the right wing corner. And when it gets in there, we can't see it. Picked up behind the net by Hillier. Now taken by the Rangers. Mullen. He goes to Kelly Kissio. Kissio trying to shoot it. Can't do that. Off to the right point. David Shaw. Good shot and a good save there by Barrasso. Robbie Brown takes control of the puck. He'll lay it ahead to Bob Harry. And the Penguin winger. Rangers take it away. Brian Leach. Off to the left point. A bouncy puck. He has control of it. Wrists it towards the net. Barrasso had an easy time making that save, and Mullen runs into him. Now Kissio grabs Hillier from behind, and they all jam up in behind the net again. They're trying to pry people apart.
Hillier has DeBlois. Hillier has DeBlois on a headlock.
Mullen's got himself free. Lemieux and Brian Mullen have words. Boy, Lemieux is so big on skates. I mean, he is just gigantic. He just towers above people. You see it from above, but you even realize it a little more when you're down on the ice. All right, we've got a 2-1 Pittsburgh lead here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hey, Josh!
Of all the days to run away.
Poor Josh. It's so hot. It's so hot that the ocean's drying up.
Can't take it.
Gonna be even hotter tomorrow.
Looks so good, I just gotta have it. Can't beat it.
I guess we'll have to rent out his room.
Can't beat the feeling.
Brian Mullen and Paul Coffey each get 2 minutes for roughing after the play, and it was all started by Mullen going to the net, following up. Barrasso juggling the puck somewhat, and Mullen came in towards the net, and Barrasso, from protecting himself, put the stick up towards Mullen. Remember the other night when Van Beesbrook did that to Phil Bourque. Van Beesbrook put the stick right into Bourque's face and cut him open, and he was bleeding from the mouth, and the referee, Ron Hogarth, said that he felt that Bourque was running at Van Beesbrook, and that's why he didn't call the penalties.
Capitals have the tying goal at Philadelphia. Bengt Gustafsson just put it in by Ron Hextall, and they're in game 3 of that playoff series, tied at 3 in the third period. Gary Wilson against Dave McElwain, and the faceoff won by the Rangers. Gressner shooting, and Barrasso caught that one in the midsection and holds on. As Ulf Dahlen is in front of the net, he's upended by Rod Buskus.
Barrasso was a fair game in that last game, the game 2 in Pittsburgh. They were really coming after him in the goal crease. And after the game, Barrasso was explaining again, and we've talked about it before on the air, about how with the nets on the magnets now, players are much less reluctant to drive to the net. And and they'll go right to that cage. Barrasso, it appeared to me, didn't see that shot till the last second, took it to the belly pad. But Mike Barrasso was just saying, as you had your headset off for a moment, that he was really talking about how players really go to the net a lot more now because the nets are on magnets. And he said it used to be if you
good point.
You crash into the cage in the old days, he said you were carried off in a stretcher. He said now the goaltender might get carried off.
Well, maybe one of the reasons why we see more scoring in the National Hockey League. That's a good point by Tommy. Here's Gressner now. Forced back into his own end, right behind the Ranger goal. 2-1 the Penguins lead. And the Rangers setting up shop in their own territory. Cullen out here for the Penguins with Callender and Phil Bourque. Left point comes to Zalewski, a shot, and Van Beesbroek knocked that away. Off the left wing side, Bourque coming in, put it behind the net. Now Cullen has it. Cullen right wing corner, playing well. Cullen trying to get it to Bourque, and Wilson's all over him, and Callender steps in to carry Wilson, and the Rangers take possession. Patrick's pass up the left wing. It'll be called back on a two-line pass here against the New York Rangers.
Well, we saw two good plays there where players just let the puck go and went after the man. Kerry Wilson did it to Callender, knowing the puck had gone by him. Instead of worrying about the puck, he took Callender, blocked him off so he couldn't get to it. And then at center ice, after the puck came out to Sandstrom, Cullen forgot about the puck and went right after Sandstrom and ran him into the boards in front of the Rangers bench. And it turned out it was a two-line pass, but Cullen nicely just taking the body and forgetting the puck. And the Penguins said they were going to have to do that here tonight, particularly early in this game, because they knew the Rangers would be coming. They'd have to match them hit for hit.
Boy, the Pens have played extremely well in this hockey game. They have not run around to their own end. They've been very disciplined. They have won 5 of their last 6 on the road, and they are playing with confidence right now, and you can feel it.
Yep, they're poised, Mike. The looks on their faces are just all business-like right now. They don't look intimidated in the least.
Jimmy Johnson drills it deep into the Rangers in around the far side. Brian Leach of New York couldn't clear. He'll get a second crack, and Loney's all over him. Loney in trying to take the puck away. Made a nice move with that body. Cunningworth centers for Quinn, and it bounces up in behind the net. And Beesbrook after it. Well, that's the size factor there. The Penguins taking the puck away from Brian Leach, and Loney. Now the puck dealt long into the Penguins in an icing call here against the New York Rangers. And the momentum right now, I think, is starting to swing more towards the Pens. We've got a 2-1 Pittsburgh lead. 14:24 to go in the second on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Rorick Toyota has been awarded the President's Award for an unprecedented 3rd year in a row. This tradition of excellence will continue in our new location. The expanded parts department enables our quality service technicians to care for your vehicle quickly. And at Rorick Toyota, you'll browse protected from the weather in spacious indoor and sheltered showrooms. Visit the #1 Toyota dealership and be treated to quality service. Rorick Cadillac, Sterling, Toyota, Suzuki, and Hyundai. 1 mile south of the Liberty Tubes.
Well, this face-off will be in the Rangers' end to the left of John Van Beesbroek, the Ranger goaltender. Lafreniere. Out for New York with Ogrodnik and Guy Lafleur. And Ogrodnik finds Lafreniere. Lafreniere at center circle going to the Pittsburgh line. He'll wheel it in behind Barrasso. Danny Quinn back checking in his own territory. Winded around the near wing, and Cunningworth gave it away to Ogrodnik. His shot partially deflected. Into the near corner. And the Rangers get a right point to Shaw. Shot deflected by Ogrodnik, comes back in front. And Danny Quinn will take it out of a traffic jam. Danny Quinn rushing up for the Pens, coming to the Ranger blue line. His slap shot way off target. He'll head to the bench here as the Penguins make a quick line change, and they're doing that well, too. They're very efficient here this evening against the Rangers. Down the right wing, Ogrodnik. Very well-oiled machine at the moment. Shaw shooting. Stopped by Barrasso. Comes in behind the Penguin net, and Zarley Zalewski of Pittsburgh. Now remember, the Rangers came out and had the early pressure on the Penguins. The Penguins fought it off and scored the opening goal. And then Granato tied up for New York. The Penguins went ahead on John Cullen's first of the playoff. Whipped down deep into the Rangers in. Van Beesbroek, number 34. The Ranger goaltender will leave it for Ron Gressner. Gressner steered around the boards. It comes to Granato. Look out. He has a chance here. Down the left wing is Zalewski to beat. Zalewski swings him wide, cuts him down. He goes to the net, right into the goal. And the net is taken off the moorings. There's a perfect example of what you're talking about.
Yep.
Granato in the old days, they would never have done that, I don't believe.
He'd be dead.
It's just too dangerous.
They'd be taking him off the ice in 2 pieces.
And Barrasso would have stepped right away and let him go right in, too.
He's a smallish guy.
Game.
Granato's only about 175 pounds. He's like a feather. He hits guys out there, but he doesn't hurt you too often unless he puts that lumber into you. He ran right into Barrasso.
He was going to try and take the puck himself and everybody into the net. That's what he was trying to do, like a kamikaze pilot. That's what I might compare him to.
I was talking to Kevin Stevens. He's good friends with Tony Granato. They play together on the Olympic team, and he said that Granato really didn't play as chippy as in the Olympics as he does now. for the Rangers. And I guess he's had to become that way. He's playing in the National Hockey League now, and he's got to show that he's not going to be pushed around by anybody out there.
He also said he was a little surprised that Tony played that way. And we were talking about it, and you get guys like Coffey and Lemieux and people like that running, coming after you, and they're usually pretty quiet, and they don't get involved too much, but they're looking for him. So he is using the lumber on people, and they're not taking too kindly to it. Granado against Mcelwain. Not Jimmy Johnson's observation on Granado and Brown the other night. I asked him about both guys, and he said, well, you know, they're the kind of players you love to have on your team.
Right.
He admires their competitiveness. And down the center, here comes Bork now back to play and shoots it away to the right wing corner of the Rangers in. Off the board, John Erickson. He'll carry the mail. Nyland being checked by Bork as he trails him all the way back up ice. Goes to the left wing corner. Bouncing in behind the Penguin goal. Nyland again putting that body into Gord or Jimmy Johnson. Jan Eriksson. Now it's the Rangers starting to get a little momentum. In behind the Penguin net, Granado and Johnson. Jimmy Johnson swing it free. Bork back in his own territory. Penguins really coming back and helping out here in this series so far. In command of the puck, it'll be Jock Callender. The shots are 19-13 in favor of the Rangers. And the puck is pushed down back to the Penguins in. Gord Dineen, Penguin defenseman. Moving right back all the way to the Rangers zone. We'll get an icing call here against the Pittsburgh Penguins with 12:15 to go here in the third. Montreal's rallied to take the lead over Hartford, 3-2 in the third, and we'll be back here. Penguins lead 2-1 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
B-I-G-M-A-C. If I match Big Mac, that's $1 million for me. 'Cause I'm playing the Scrabble game at Mickey D.
It's a big new game at McDonald's with over 70 million prizes. Enough for 1 out of 3 people to win. Delicious food prizes, a Holiday Inn escape, $1 million. Get your game piece, win instantly, or collect letters to win.
S-C-R-A-B-B-L-E. Oh, come on, play Scrabble at Mickey D.
Troy Loney out here now in a defensive mode for the Penguins as Dineen was cut down by Granado at the blue line. It's close to being an interference call there. I don't know what else you'd call it. In any event, Loney's out here in the defensive zone, Mike, on the faceoff in this line with Lemieux, and the Pens lose the draw.
Boston leads Buffalo 1-0. That game in the second period, I believe, at Buffalo. Now back in behind the Penguin goal, the Rangers. Lemieux out here against Kissio in his line. Patrick has it. Left side, good pass to Gressner. Slap shot. Where is it? I still don't know where it is. Barasso's got it in his glove. And Gressner looks on. The Rangers moving that puck around. And we've got this opportunity. Let's pause for station identification here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
WPGH TV 53, Pittsburgh.
Rangers controlled the draw, and as a result, they got a shot on the net. Gressner at the left point cranked it up. It was deflected, and a great glove save by Tom Barrasso.
Kissio got the stick on it.
Talk about great vision and reflexes combined to make a good glove save.
Lemieux giving the biscuit to Paul Coffey. Lay it ahead on the right wing to Troy Loney, who sports a black eye on that left socket, and it comes down the near side of the Rangers zone. Rangers trying to work it back the other way, and they will. And Gressner gliding along the ice down the right wing into the Penguins end, comes towards the net. He'll go right into Barrasso. Barrasso trying to get him out of there. Boy, the Rangers are really starting to storm the Penguin goal now. This is where they feel they can take advantage of the Pens, especially with Hillier and Coffey and the smallish defensemen the Penguins have. And I look for a lot of teams, if the Penguins should get by this round, to do exactly that. They don't have a great deal of size back defensively, not the great big defenseman that'll move you away, a la Stevens and Rouse and Langway and other people like that, Washington, Chikrin. You're talking about some others with the Flyers, and that's kind of the game plan against the Penguins is you got to beat them, you got to go right to the net and overpower them.
But the Rangers, by nature, play that 1-2-2 forechecking system that we've talked about before, and they just don't seem to have right now the ability to go in and play that kind of a game where you rush the net, where you get on the defense, where you play that forechecking game. They keep backing off every time the Penguins defense gains possession of the puck, and it's really making it easier for the Penguins to walk out of their own zone.
Around to the far corner of the Penguins in, and here is Troy Loney after the draw. Trying to flip it out. It comes ahead down to Zalapski. 2-1 the Penguins lead here. And Kevin Stevens going to the Rangers stripe. He is hit hard on a check by Mark Hardy. Got the puck into the Rangers into the rink, however, and here's Michel Petit. Petit looks for Mark Hardy. Lost it to Cunneyworth. Cunneyworth, right wing corner. Cunneyworth looks, put it in front, and Stevens can't get there. Stevens was just bumped by Hardy at the last second, and here come the Rangers, gunning back the other way. Dahlen, the end of Penguin ice, controls the puck, but the Rangers are offside.
Zalewski fell down in the offensive zone and was trapped up ice. Unfortunately for the Penguins, the Rangers went offside, but part of the reason was that the Penguins forwards were alert and came back and made it difficult for the Rangers to get into the Penguin zone.
Kevin Stevens and Mark Hardy got a thing going here tonight. Let's bring you up to date on the scoreboard. Detroit leads Chicago second period on a Dave Barr goal, 1-0. The Blues on goals by Peter Zessel. Evans and Hall lead Minnesota 3-0 to the second. In the second period at Vancouver, Calgary with goals from Håkan Loob and Joe Nieuwendyk lead Vancouver 2-0. And the Bruins lead the Buffalo Sabres at Buffalo 1-0 on a goal by Randy Burry. And Edmonton now with a 4-0 lead over the Los Angeles Kings. In the second period, Curry with a pair. Carson and Smith also scoring for Edmonton. And the Canadians lead 3-2 in their game.
Is that Steve Smith?
Might be back. Yeah, he might be.
Is he back, Steve Smith?
Outside of the
LA 0, Edmonton 4, second.
Pittsburgh blue line. It's worked ahead here. Stevens on the left side. Rangers in. Comes in. He has a chance, and he shoots it right on save. Reese gets the rebound, scores. Kevin Stevens got his own rebound back. Oh, I'll be cow kick. Stevens got it back himself and blistered it right by Van Beesbrook, and the Penguins take a 3-1 lead.
And Mark Hardy was trying to get Stevens off the ice. He was unsuccessful. Too bad for him, because Kevin Stevens comes down that left wing. He said something to Mark Hardy, too, I think. I think he just turned and said something to him. Is he on the ice? He said something to one of the Rangers right at center ice. He's still jabbering away at him. Now he's going to go to the bench. Kevin Stevens with a slap shot. He followed up, stayed right in the play, kept his head in the play, even though Van Beesbrook made that first save. And he had a lot of room coming down the wing. Pumped a couple of times, too. Had Van Beesbrook guessing a little bit. And he got his own rebound and beat him.
Terrific athlete is Kevin Stevens for the size. Boy, you talk about a guy with ability.
He's turned into a real crackerjack, hasn't he?
So Stevens gets his second playoff goal. Dan Quinn has an assist on it. Stevens is second. A check now on Bob Airey back in the Rangers in. A big goal by the Penguins there. Opens it up to a 2-goal lead. Down the right wing, Brown holding Erickson into the Penguin zone, and Coffey now flips it ahead back to center. After the puck will be James Patrick, and Patrick over to Tony Granato, and Granato off the glass in behind the Penguin net. 9:06 the time of the goal by Stevens. Right point, Penguins in. Here is Patrick, has room. He shoots it right in, and Barrasso stopped it. Rebound, Nyland. He's stopped by Barrasso. What a save Barrasso made there. Oh, now Nyland comes after Coffey and belts him with a right hand. Coffey comes firing back at Nyland. Here's Patrick in. They all jam up. We can't see a thing. Got no idea what's going on. Now grabbed from behind is Paul Coffey by Ron Gressner. Now Lemieux part of the parade. Hillier trying to get at Chris Nyland. They pair off now, Nyland and Hillier.
Hillier's going to have to get a game misconduct here for being the third man in, you would think. He's in there with Nyland. Nyland slams him to the ice.
Nyland flat and hit Coffey with a right hand out of nowhere. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Jay Caulfield will be out shortly. I can read his mind.
Well, I'll tell you what happened there. Nyland got the backhand shot away. Barrasso was down. He threw his body across the goal crease, and he just laid there on the ground hoping that Nyland's shot would hit him, and that's exactly what happened. Nyland put the shot right into him, and he made a great save on him, and then Nyland came into the net, and Coffey pushed him back, and Nyland took a shot at him.
All right, we'll have penalty time issued here, and we'll be back to the Garden in New York, where the Penguins lead New York 3-1 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Shop the appliance store at the Tri-State's name brand headquarters and see and save on the whole line of Techniques, the science of sound. Techniques receivers with all the high-tech features you're looking for. Tape deck, stereo, high-speed editing, feather touch operation, turntables, quartz direct drive, programmable, compact disc players from portable to programmable compact and more. Speakers, you name it. Techniques has it, including Techniques audio component systems. Techniques. At the appliance store, the best for less.
Ron Ron Greshner jumped in after Coffey and had him in a headlock I believe after Hilliard jumped in and became the third man in. Nyland's got a little bit of a cut under his eye, and that's from the right hand that Coffey threw. He got it in tight on him. Coffey immediately, after throwing a right hand or a couple of lefts maybe, pulled the head in of Nyland, pulled his head in towards his body to cover up. He didn't want any parts of those haymakers from Chris Nyland. Smart strategy by Coffey. And then as they were kind of holding each other close, Coffey got that right hand in right into the eye of Chris Nyland.
Randy Hilliard will be ushered off here, and he will be the third man into the altercation. So he has left the ice. We got Nyland and Greshner in for the Rangers. Coffey and Hilliard will get penalties. Coffey and Nyland, they started it.
And the right hand's coming here from Coffey in a minute, I think.
Yeah, Hilliard came in to grab Chris Nyland.
Greshner wants to know. Yeah, Ubriaka wants to know why Greshner's in the box.
All right, we've got a 3-3 tie at Philadelphia. We'll be joining that game for the final seconds of play, hopefully, here in just a moment. Here is the 3-1 Penguin lead. And here's the final moments of that game, courtesy of Home Team Sports. Time running out there in that game in regulation time. Series tied at 1 apiece. And they will go to overtime. All right, so out of this whole situation, they'll wash out, and Hilliard gets the game misconduct. They all wash out. Penalties are all evened up. Nyland and Coffey for fighting. Hilliard and Greshner on the minor penalties on the game misconduct to Randy Hilliard. So the Capitals and the Flyers now will go to overtime in Game 3 of their best-of-7 series. Here the Penguins lead 3-1.
Ron Greshner looks like Andre Agassi. Chris Nyland just looks like what he is. I mean, his looks fit his role perfectly. And a pugilist.
Yeah, he's a pretty good hockey player, too, with Montreal. I'm telling you, he really improved his game, and he can play the game. He can.
As a matter of fact, I asked him about, the matchup of him and Caulfield, and he said, I like to think I can play every shift. He said, Jay Caulfield only plays 1 or 2 shifts a game.
Nyland made himself a better hockey player, too. I mean, with just hard, dedicated work. The sticks come up from the faceoff outside of the Penguin line.
And in fairness, Jay Caulfield's trying to do the same thing.
He is. Down the right wing, here's Bork up in it by Leach. Here's Cullen to the Rangers in. A slap shot, and Van Beesbrook made that save, and now covers to the left of the goal. And Shaw takes a crack at one of the pins, and here's Loney right in on David Shaw.
Bork's in there, too. Shaw is really taking a beating tonight. Penguins are really intimidating him, I think.
Well, we'll have a face-off in the Rangers zone. And Loney again with that black eye.
That's courtesy of Tony Granato. He got the stick into his face at the end of the second game. Must feel pretty good.
Bork and Shaw push and shove again in front of the Ranger goal. And I'll tell you, you got to temper it. Andy, you had these two teams October 30th, partner. You know how bad it can get. You better get it under control right now. You've been a dear friend for many years, but he's got a situation here that's a powder keg. He's got to be careful.
He's taking some people off, too, Mike. Well, so he hears you.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it.
He knows. He saw the situation, the incident we had here the 30th of October. Shaw is going to go off here.
And so is Bork.
We're going to send him to the locker room.
Yep, Bork already left.
Yeah, he's going to get misconduct penalties. That's what he's going to do. No, he's going to put him in the penalty box. Shaw went for a big skate. Where's Bork at?
Bork went off.
Got to get him back. Open the gate, boys.
Borky went.
Paging Phil Bork. Phil Bork.
Bork collided with one of the Rangers at center ice and went flying.
Misconduct penalties. Well, frankly, Bork wouldn't have to go to the penalty box. He'd only be out for 3 seconds at the end of the period. There's 10:03 left here in the period. 3-1 the Penguins lead. Goals by John Cullen, Kevin Stevens, and Mario Lemieux. The only tally by the Rangers, Tony Granato. Right wing circle Ranger zone. Lemieux in against Quinn, and that face-off is controlled by Pittsburgh. Cunneyworth shoots one. That'll be denied by the Rangers, and they whip it back to center. Going for it will be Zalewski. Zalewski, right wing to Cunneyworth, off the near side to Stevens, who wants that puck right now. Stevens cuts down the left side. Got a step on the man. Goes into the corner. Centers it for Quinn. He's there, and his shot was blocked by Brian Leach. Right side, Busquets hammers one off the glass. It'll come to Kelly Kissio, the Rangers center iceman. Up now to Leach, and Leach stumbles a bit coming to the Penguins end. He's tripped and knocked down. Play goes on. At center ice, Michel Petit. Well, I'll tell you what, this crowd's been a lot kinder than I thought it would be during the course of the night. A long way to go still. And play is whistled down here inside the Penguin zone on the
Boy, Mike, what a rush that was by Kevin Stevens. Michel Petit is not small. He is big and strong, and he can play defense. And Stevens went down the left wing boards, and Petit came over and had the angle on him and just rammed him against the boards, and Stevens just kept on coming like a truck. Carried that puck right to the left wing corner. We've got birds flying around right now. Cover your head, Mike.
Yeah.
They're flying right over top of us.
Not in anything. Civic Arena.
Put a hat on.
Got a whole about 15 nest in the arena. They're trying to copy the Penguins, trying to copy the arena again. Now at an icing call now back to play. Brings it all the way back into Penguin real estate. James Patrick, who I think has played a heck of a game tonight for the New York Rangers. I'll tell you one thing, we're getting a little more used to this position, and we're blocked in an awful lot of ways. But you can read an awful lot of determination on players' faces. You talked about Stevens, and I could see it in his face. He wanted that puck very badly, and you can read it. And when a guy has that much determination, he's going to get there. And that's what the Penguins is. The team right now, you can see it. 9:13 to go in the period. Granato puts one weakly to the net. Barrasso spins it over now to Rob Brown. Brown cuts his way to center. Robbie Brown trying to get to the Rangers zone, and he does. Dump it in. Van Beesbroek cut it off. Whip it around to the far wing. Kept in by Deneen. Puts his head down. A slap shot. Where is it? It's off Van Beesbroek. And it comes around to the near side on a heavy check by Jim Johnson. Sends one of the Rangers, and that's Granato flying as he got him along the board. Deneen leaving the puck for Jim Johnson. Granato was down. He was hit by Johnson. What appeared to be a good, clean check on Tony Granato. Thomas Sandstrom hit him into the boards, and Sandstrom, who got hit earlier in this series, into the boards, and he is in some pain now as he comes off. Jimmy Johnson, that was a pretty good legal check, I believe, right in front of us with a shoulder in on Thomas Sandstrom, and Sandstrom is hurt. He went to slam his stick down. He got hit the other night, Paul.
Yeah. You know where he got hit? Right on the hip bone. He went into that glass, and he took it right on the hip bone against the boards, and Johnson, oh man, then he put the stick into him and just kind of rubbed it in as he knocked him to the ice. Sandstrom is hurting. He hit himself right on the boards, on the edge of the boards.
The boards do not give.
No, the glass does, but the boards don't. And it's just the way he was hit there. Now he's smashing his stick against the boards. He's in some pain.
In command of the puck, the Penguins now from the face-off, and Gord Deneen snaps it away to the Rangers zone. Van Beesbroek plays it to the near corner. Lemieux out here for the Penguins with Bob Airy and Robbie Brown. It comes back in front of the net area, controlled by Michel Petit. Looks for a breaking Guy Lafleur or Granato, and it goes beyond their reach. Barrasso plays it up the right side to Robbie Brown. Hit by Lafleur. Lemieux sends it ahead. He was knocked down, but he got the puck up to Bob Airy. Airy left side of Jimmy Johnson, going to race in deep. Johnson now trying to center it, and they went to Guy Lafleur's back checking. Loose and puck around that net. Robbie Brown could not find it. Now Guy Lafleur challenged by Troy Loney, who just stepped on. Loney near wing, trying to go to Lemieux. The pass behind him and a giveaway. Here's Brian Leach counterattacking. Lafleur's open right wing. He can't get it to him, however. And stopped now to the left point. It comes to Brian Leach. Leach off the left wing boards to Wilson. Wilson centers a shot for the Rangers. And they can't put it in as John Erickson had an opportunity. Right behind the Penguin net. Rod Busquets shoots it around the boards and out. And it hops all the way back into Ranger real estate. Michel Petit. Petit's pass to center. John Erickson looks for it. Now digging for it, Loney, and he'll get it up to Dave McElwain. McElwain cruising down the near side. Throw it behind the net, but the Rangers' Brian Leach with 7:27 to go in the second period. Penguins 3, the Rangers 1. Here at Madison Square Garden in Game 3. Penguins lead the series already 2-0. Backing around the Penguin goal. After Thomas Sandstrom, he's right back on. Determined.
Yeah, and he's bounced right off that check, but Busquets walked out in front, and Barrasso made a good play to poke it off his stick.
Sandstrom coming back in behind the net. He's fired up. Zalewski takes a piece of him. It comes along the near wing. Still in Penguin territory. Zalewski pulled down Sandstrom. There's a penalty coming up against the Penguin defenseman. Rangers pull their goaltender. Dahlin around the net. Sandstrom wants that puck. He deflects it in, and Thomas Sandstrom right now has fire in his eyes. Power play coming up for the New York Rangers. We have a 3-1 hockey game. The Penguins lead. Zalewski will sit down, and we'll be back on the Penguins Hockey Network.
There's something made for your wallet that's more powerful than money. Something that connects you to anyone, virtually anywhere in the world.
Bonjour, j'arrive à 10 heures.
From any phone in the U.S.,
Down the car.
24 hours a day. Something that not only saves you time, it saves you money.
Hi, John. Just got in. Where's the meeting?
Okay, fax it to my hotel.
The MCI card.
Yeah, we got the green light.
It is America's business card.
Well, the New York Rangers have a power play opportunity here. And this might really, I got a funny feeling this might be the key to this whole chance for the Rangers in this series. They got to score. They're down 3-1, 6:58 to go. The crowd realizes it too. They've come alive. They sense the Rangers need to get back into this game in a hurry right now. Gary Wilson against Mario Lemieux. The Penguins have killed 3 power play chances that the Rangers have had. Here's Kerry Wilson against Lemieux, with Quinn also a penalty killer. Dahlin and Sandstrom on either side of Wilson. Appointment Patrick and Leach. Face-off Penguins in. James Patrick. Swinging over to Kerry Wilson. Lemieux stalking him. Lemieux trying to take it away. He does. Mario has it. Looks up. He'll pass to Quinn. Bursting up ice is Lemieux. He's hooked from behind by Sandstrom. Sandstrom turns around to look at Van Helleman to see if he's going to get a penalty. And now Lemieux whacks Sandstrom with a stick on the backside. Here's James Patrick now, sending the puck ahead to Kerry Wilson. Left wing to Leach. Into the Penguins end. Stops, goes left side to Wilson. The crowd again is quieted down. Right behind the net after Adolph Dahlin. Dahlin, a great playmaker. Dahlin spinning over. Nice play to Sandstrom. He tried to center. He gave it right to Bob Harry. Harry, an outlet pass over to Mario Lemieux. 1-on-2. Watch this. Down the right wing. Trying to beat Patrick. Still with the puck. Lemieux comes in. Lemieux had it finally taken away by Brian Leach. He almost did the impossible there, taking both Leach and Patrick all the way to the net. Back on the attack. Here's Sandstrom to the Penguin zone for New York. 3-1. The Penguins lead. Dahlin in front of shot. Barrasso the save. The rebound. There is no rebound. Barrasso has it with his glove and pulls it in. And we'll have a face-off in the Penguin zone.
Fortunately, Dahlin just could not get leverage on the puck to lift it up over Barrasso. He got the puck back after Tommy had flopped to the ice to make a save on him. He cut right in all alone in front of Barrasso. Barrasso went down on his back, got the pads out to make the save, but the puck was still loose, and Dahlin just was falling away, and he couldn't get the leverage and lift it, and it just rolled back to the side of the cage. Barrasso had his head in the net, but reached out around the cage and froze the puck outside the goal cage. Great play by Sandstrom to Ulf Dahlin. Dahlin playing on the power play. And
well, Sandstrom right now is a man possessed.
Yeah, he is. All of a sudden, that check really brought him to life. Dahlin was not on the power play earlier in the season, and Esposito has him out there.
Sandstrom sits down Lafreniere with Guy Lafleur and John O'Grodnik, with Brian Leach and Jace Patrick for the Rangers. Power play has 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Penguin defenseman Arnie Zalewski off. Penguins 3, the Rangers 1. They only go in the second period by Kevin Stevens of Pittsburgh.
This is a crucial time of the game. No question about it. The Penguins penalty killing has been outstanding here tonight.
Lafreniere against Quinn. The right-hander Lafreniere against the left-hander Quinn, and Lafreniere wins the draw. O'Grodnik right point to Leach's shot. That's stopped by Barrasso. Played away to the near corner. Up with it will be the Rangers' Lafreniere. Over to the right side, a shot went right on. That's stopped by Barrasso. Picked up off the boards by O'Grodnik. O'Grodnik of New York. Out to the center point. Less than 50 to go. O'Grodnik now to the right side, takes a shot, blocked by the Penguins. Jimmy Johnson, who continues to sparkle in this series. Off the center point, lead, shooting. What a stop by Barrasso there. I think he got his right leg on it. Now on the far boards, Guy Lafleur, left point. Whistle sounds. We got an injured player down. Who did that hit? Jimmy Johnson of the pen. That shot may have hit Jim Johnson. I thought Barrasso may have got a piece of it. They call for Skip there in a hurry. Lafreniere.
No, they're sending Lafreniere off. Yep, a spear.
Oh, Lafreniere apparently speared Jim Johnson.
He doesn't like the call.
Jimmy Johnson of the Pens is down. I thought, you try and figure out what happened. The shot went to the net, but it's Lafreniere with a spear.
Oh, yeah, right in the belly. That's one of the worst penalties in hockey right there. You could really seriously injure a player. Jimmy Johnson has had problems, too, from a spear he took earlier in the season, of some internal problems, and that's the kind of thing that can happen. It's not so much getting cut, it's what can happen to the inside of your body. And Johnson getting back to his knees.
And he got a game misconduct on that, too, did he not?
He should have.
Yeah. 5:32 to go. The teams will be at equal strength for 34 seconds, and the Penguins will have a power play and a major penalty. Hopefully, Jimmy Johnson will be able to get himself back under control. What a series he has had. We'll return in a moment. 3-1 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, it's a surprise. They'll cook the food so she won't get wise. Matchmaker, matchmaker, I need a man. Yeah. How about the trio grand?
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages gives you the most ads and the most choices. No wonder it's the most used book around.
Make me a perfect match.
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it.
Well, Jason Lafreniere, a spearing major and a game misconduct at 14:28. And Esposito can't be too pleased with that because the Rangers already trail 3-1. With the shot to the net, Barrasso did get a piece of it. And Jimmy Johnson and then Lafreniere just stabbed him with a stick.
Van Hellemond watching the whole time. There's a good example of the referee not looking at the puck, but looking at the play behind the puck. And Van Hellemond seeing it and making the call.
All right, in 20 seconds now, the Penguins will get a power play and a major penalty to the Rangers. And if the Penguins can just turn this game right around and take full control of it, if they can score a power play goal, I believe, they've had pretty good command of it. The Rangers blew their chance there because they were trying to get back into it, and they just watched it go by the wayside. Here, the left wing, Develois, storms back. 5 seconds to go. They're at equal strength right now. Develois drop pass. Here's Hardy. They shot that one off a stick, and that went right up into the seats behind Tom Barrasso, the Penguin goaltender.
I'll tell you, before we went to the break, we had a shot of Phil Esposito, and he looked so worried, and it was unbelievable.
Well, the Penguins right now lead here 3-1. Scores around the rest of the National Hockey League, and we'll be getting those for you momentarily. The Philadelphia Flyers in overtime against the Washington Capitals, and tonight the Capitals have defeated the Philadelphia Flyers on the winning goal by Kelly Miller of the Washington Capitals. So the Capitals come in and take a 2-1 lead in the series. The puck actually hit a stick of a defenseman, we're told, and went in the net behind Hextall, and so the Rangers, I beg your pardon, the Capitals win Game 3 of that series, and of course Game 4 played tomorrow night at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. The winner of this series will play the winner of that one, the Flyers or the Caps.
It went off the stick of Shell Samuelson. It happens so many times in overtime, Mike. Fluky type goal like that, of crazy bounce, and the game's over.
Face off now. The Penguins have it. Here's Dan Quinn. Bring it to center ice. Over to Paul Coffey. Left side of Quinn. He's into the Rangers zone. Quinn pulls back. Quinn in front of Lemieux and tried to go to Robbie Brown. He couldn't get it to him. Right in behind the Ranger net. And Robbie Brown going for it. I'll tell you another thing we realized. I knew how good a player Danny Quinn was. Very skilled, but he is a great skater himself. Boy, he can make a lot of moves. Granato coming down, shoots at a penalty coming up against the Penguins. And here's Coffey with a puck. The Penguins will be penalized. Pittsburgh's going to get a holding call.
I think it's going to be Zalapsky again.
Penguins will be shorthanded once again. Danny Quinn is headed to the penalty box. And the Penguins will be shorthanded for the 5th time in this game. Not shorthanded, I beg your pardon, that's going to even it up. Penguins have just gone to the power play.
And that all happened because Lemieux and Brown had trouble getting that puck behind the net, and they both were trapped behind the play. And Granato had an extra step on Coffey, and then Quinn became concerned coming back, and he held one of the Rangers behind the play. Good save by Barrasso again on Granato, once again driving right to the net. Right on Zalapsky, too. The Penguins had 2 defensemen back, and still Granato was able to get into the crease and get a shot away. He's got great quickness.
So the Penguins are now 1 for 4 in the power play. And this will leave it up for 2 minutes, and then the Penguins will come back out of it with a power play for 1:49. That is unless things change, of course.
Esposito doesn't look as worried now.
Lemieux against Lemieux, and Coffey comes away with the puck. Penguin defenseman with 4:16 to go in the second period. Pittsburgh 3, the Rangers 1. On the move, the Penguins. Zalapsky to the left side of the Rangers zone. Lemieux going to Coffey, back to Zalapsky with a quick little move, back to Coffey. Coffey to Lemieux, right there, and he fanned on it. Oh, he had a great chance there, and he checks his stick. Well, he knew he had Van Beesbroek, I think, beaten on that play. Here come the Rangers, though, down the right side of the Penguins. In Lemieux firing off the blocking glove of goaltender Barrasso, put back in front, wide of everybody, and Robbie Brown just coolly feeds it up the boards, back down to the Ranger line. Michel Petit, Ranger defenseman, looked ahead. Mullen never thought it was coming. He never saw it. And the Penguins again take command of it. It's Zalapsky. He'll rush up. Zalapsky with some confidence going to the Rangers' end. Down the near side. Drop pass to Coffey. Moves in. Coffey in front. A deflection by Mcelwain. And just hop wide to the left side of Van Beesbroek. Going around to the near corner. The Rangers. Michel Petit comes over. He'll bring that puck right back to center. Shoot it away to the Penguin zone. We have 57 seconds to go on the Quinn penalty. Back at equal strength. Here's Lemieux into the Rangers zone. Pulls back. Drop pass to Coffey. Fires one on. And that's stopped by Van Beesbroek. On the rebound. Here come the Rangers. Gary Wilson. Scooted to the Penguins in. Drop pass to Mullen. Big slap shot. Dineen blocked that, the Penguin defenseman. Gave his body up. Dineen again continues to shine for the Pens. On the attack is Dineen going to the Rangers zone. Cut through one man, cut through another. Van Beesbroek pokes it away. Lemieux's got it. Right side here. Stevens whips one stop. He got a rebound back, and he can't put it to the net. The Rangers go the other way. The game opens up now. Gary Wilson. In the Penguin ice, down the left wing. Stevens got an angle on him. Goes behind the net, chasing after him. Wilson centers. It comes to Jan Eriksson. He's alone. Can't shoot it. Jimmy Johnson tied him up. They jam into the near corner. Patrick's in deep. The Rangers defenseman one-arms it. Stevens holding him. It's loose behind the goal. Lemieux bumps one of the Rangers back in his own end. The Rangers get it off the near boards.
Penguins are on a power play right now. They can't get out of their own zone.
Well, they're jammed up in their own territory.
I think they're tired, too.
Off the near wing, it comes to Lemieux, and Lemieux back on the power play now against Petit, who stands up looking at him. Lemieux comes in, goes now to Stevens, broken line, picked up by Lemieux again in the shot. That's stopped. At center ice, Gordon Dineen whips it back into Ranger ice, and going forward will be Michel Petit. Starts right up. The Penguins making a change here in their power play. A steal by Zalapsky, and the Rangers in right down the slot. He's hooked from behind. Penalty coming up against the Rangers. Lemieux has it. Rangers get possession. Actually, I think Lemieux gave it right to Tony Granato. And the Penguins will have another two-man advantage here for 1 minute and 8 seconds as Robbie Brown was decked by Michel Petit. Did he knock him down?
Yeah, he did, but Brown's all right. We've seen more acting in this series. Tom Barrasso still gets the Academy Award, though, for the other night, because there was nothing wrong with him at all when Nyland bumped him going towards the bench. He just laid on the ice like he had been hit with a stick, and nothing really happened to him. This time, Robbie Brown was just shrugged away by Michel Petit, and he flopped to the ice face down as if he was hurt. And I think Jimmy Johnson, not to say that he wasn't speared, because I really think he was, and he probably was hurting, but he really laid there like it was really seriously hurt for a long time, and I could read his lips when he went to the bench. He said, "I'm all right."
Oh, yeah, he got a double minor. He got the original hook for pulling down Zalapsky, and he got a minor for whacking Robbie Brown.
Good job by Robbie Brown to draw the penalty.
And so the Penguins now with a two-man advantage for 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Boy, they got so much opportunity here.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And they've got to make it work.
Here's Zalapsky coming down into the zone. He was hooked and knocked down, and then again it was Petit and Robbie Brown jawing away at him.
Mike, Lemieux had a chance earlier when he tried to pass the puck, and he got it back. Van Beesbroek was out of position, and Lemieux, I think he thought he had more of an open net and more time to get the shot away than he did. He didn't really jump on the puck as quickly as he might have if he didn't have as much time. And Van Beesbroek got back and made the save. It was a great save by Van Beesbroek, too, or Lemieux would have had his third goal of the series.
This face-off will be to the right of goaltender John Van Beesbroek.
The pressure's really on him right now.
Yeah. And Stevens and Quinn, along with Lemieux up front, with Zalapsky and Coffey. The Penguins very cool about this. They're in control of themselves.
Another 5-on-3.
Second one of the night.
Boy, what a save that was by Van Beesbrook on Lemieux with a stick glove.
And about the sixth one of the series. I don't have the totals. I'd have to go back and look at it, but it's probably around a half a dozen times the Penguins already have had a two-man advantage. Barrasso as the Rangers clear. 55 to go on the penalty to Lafreniere. That's a major penalty, too. Remember that. Down the left side, it will come to Lemieux. Drop pass to Coffey. Coffey with it. Coffey shoots it in front, deflected, rebound, score. Danny Quinn gets the goal, and the Penguins make it 4-1. Oh, look out, Loretta. A two-man advantage, and the Penguins make no mistake about it. They lead 4-1. Another power play goal by the Pens. They're second in the game, and it comes at 18:45 of period number 2.
It's really ironic because the Penguins, a team all year long that was taking the penalties and putting themselves in trouble, and it's been the Rangers who showed a lack of discipline in this series. Danny Quinn on the rebound after Coffey took the shot. Stevens was there looking for it, and Beesbrook made the save, but Quinn was right there to just pot that one and make it 4-1 with 1:15 to go in the period. Coffey with a good wrist shot down low, forcing Van Beesbrook to make the save.
All right, remember, that's a major penalty, so it's still in effect. They go to the second minor on Petit. The Penguins still have a two-man advantage for 43 seconds. And that's what's killing the Rangers. That major penalty, you can't get rid of it. You get rid of the minor if you score within the next 43. You won't get rid of the major. It's going to stay there. Kissio wants to know why. It's pretty simple, Kelly. It's a major penalty. Nobody can come on until 5 minutes is over. Danny Quinn with a goal and an assist now in this game. Stevens and Coffey figure in. Coffey's got 2 more points tonight. He now has 7 in the series. Penguins still with a two-man advantage. They're into the second penalty on Michel Petit, the roughing call. And here's the play control by the Penguins, who lead 4-1 here. And the Penguins have not lost a game this year when they've gone to the third period with a lead. Down the right wing, here's Coffey going to the Rangers zone. Taken away by Harding. Lead pass to Granato. Short-handed. He comes to the Penguins end. He moves in. His shot. Barrasso stopped him. He made the save on Tony Granato.
Great skate save.
And now what's the call? Andy Van Helleman's going to call a penalty, an interference call against the Pens. Danny Quinn says, I can't believe it. Me? It's almost as if that was going to be an even-up situation.
They slammed the door on Danny Quinn. Granato came in, and Barrasso stood his ground for as long as he could and made a great save with a pad and the toe of his skate, and as Granato tried to go to the backhand.
55 seconds to go. 19:05, the time of the goal by Quinn. Rangers have outshot the Penguins 30-21. Granato in the circle to the right of goaltender Tom Barrasso as Barrasso would look out. And now it is a 4-on-3 advantage for the Pens, still in the power play. And the face-off, Hardy trying to get to the net. It comes right in around the goal. Lemieux takes command of it. Mario Lemieux with 48 seconds to go. Going to Coffey. Outlet pass to John Cullen. And Cullen now back to Lemieux. Lemieux steps in. Remember, the Penguins lost Randy Hillier in this game on a third-man-in situation. Zalapski center point. Charlie with his head down doesn't shoot it. He's got Coffey open right side. They move him around. Nice move by the Pens. Over to Lemieux. He's there, and he snaps one off, but he missed the net. I think Leach might have got a piece of that shot. Now Granato of New York. Throw it ahead. 25 to go in the period. Down the right wing. Here's Kissio shooting one. Coffey got the blade out to forehand wide of the cage. Coffey around the right wing going to Cullen. He is belted by Granato and knocked down. And here are the Rangers. Greshner and the Penguins in a shot kicked away by Barrasso. We're down to 12 to go. Remember, the Penguins have a power play. With the puck is Kissio. Kissio try to put it in front. Lemieux working his own in brilliantly. Comes up. He knows how much time's left. Cullen has it. He'll shoot it. And time has run out. The Penguins have a big second period. We have played 40 minutes here in Game 3. And the Penguins have the lead over the New York Rangers. The Pittsburgh Penguins lead New York 4-1 right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Sorry, Alex. You know the rules, buddy. Let me have a Stroh's, Pat. About my monthly tab. Seems really high.
No, that's right.
Looks high to me.
Maybe you shouldn't let your buddy use it.
My buddy.
Brown hair, wears it long.
Is he short?
Yeah, talks funny, too.
Wolf?
Says that a lot.
Stroh's, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
Eats the peanuts right out of the bowl, too.
Hello?
In the 1950s,
Dad?
the medical breakthrough was open heart surgery.
The doctor does want to operate.
But fears were high. The surgery, the costs, the uncertainty.
Daddy, aren't we going to the park?
When I get back, I promise.
At Blue Cross of Western Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, we made a promise as well. To provide the needed coverage for medicine's miracles. And we're keeping that promise.
The following may not be appropriate for adult viewers. Anyone over 21 should be accompanied by a child.
Kids, get a free Muppet Baby button during Foodland nights at the Civic Arena. Parents permitted too.
Okay, you ready for me? Heinz ketchup, 99 cents. Keller's butter, $1.69. Food Light ice milk, $2.69. Those two. See, at Foodland, we know what you like. Yeah, your mother told us. Hey, she told us about Mr. Rubber Ducky, too.
Sonata. Remember the name. It's one the competition is trying to forget. Sonata's fuel-injected 2.4-liter engine makes it more powerful than Honda, Mazda, and Nissan. And Sonata gives you more interior space than any other car in its class. Better yet, at $96.95, Rorick offers Sonata for thousands less than its midsize competitors. And don't miss the factory's $1,000 cash back on Excels. Rorick Hyundai. Remember the name. Sonata.
Well, the scoring tonight in this hockey game, the Penguins and the Rangers. The Penguins lead 4-1. Mario Lemieux had an opening period goal in the first period, is second in the playoffs. Tony Granado then answered that, and John Cullen put the Penguins in front 2-1 at the end of one. Into the second period, Kevin Stevens, a goal at 9:06, his second from Danny Quinn, and then at 18:45 it was Quinn with his second of the playoffs from Coffey and Stevens. Stevens with a goal and an assist in this game, and Kevin Stevens now for the Penguins with 3 points in the playoff series. Coffey has 6 already for the Pens here against the Rangers in 3 games. The shots on goal, the Penguins had an even dozen in the period. They've credited them with an extra one. Now they have 22. And the New York Rangers had 17. They have a game total of 31 shots on goal. Any updates on the scoreboards, Stu? We can pass along? I don't think so. We will have a recap later on during the intermission on scores around the NHL in this playoff night in the National Hockey League. With the Penguins now with a 4-1 lead over the New York Rangers. We'll be back to the Garden in New York in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
We hear about Craftsman lawn tractor owners all the time, whose tractors are still going strong, even after 22 years. We're not surprised. We built them to last, just like we build them today. That's why there are more Craftsman lawn tractors on the job than any other brand. And we know when Craftsman owners are finally ready to get a new tractor, they'll get another Craftsman. The only question is, when?
Okay, Tom, tell Tim and Tony we're taking a 10 o'clock meeting at Ted's, and Tom, time is money, so don't be tardy. I'll call you on the road. Howdy, Harry, I've got you going with Gordon while Walt's away in Walla Walla. Details on the deal downtown are definitely coming, but I gotta go. Call me on the road.
In this fast-moving, go-get-'em business world, aren't you glad there's a company that lets your telephone move as fast and as far as you do?
Hi, Harry, how's Helen? Listen, I've got a 10 with Ted, but I'm still talking with you at 10:15 to discuss the demographics dealing directly with the downtown development deal. It's definitely dynamic, so don't dawdle. Rick Racquetball is off. I call at the company.
Cellular One, the mobile telephone company.
Tell me if that works for you. Peter and Paul can't play. They're preparing to present the preliminary ping-pong package to Peterson pronto. Hi, Harry.
Many lawnmower companies make quick start guarantees, but what about the rest of the mower? At Snapper, we guarantee more than quick starting. If you're not satisfied with your new Snapper's performance within 14 days of purchase, we'll refund your money.
Great, but I already bought Mr. Quick Start here.
Right now, Snapper dealers are offering great trade-in allowances, so now's the time to trade.
Trade up to Snapper today at Burl Rental and Chuck's Small Engine.
By 6 o'clock Sunday evening, the contest was over. Europe's leading luxury car makers had asked America's luxury car owners a very simple question. Which car did they prefer driving? And in 8 important categories, they received a very simple answer. The new BMW 535i. Some would say it was no contest at all.